What's up, guys? It's Younger MMA. So today I'm going to give you just food for thought, just like a thought experiment. And I want you to think in terms of there's two ways of life. So there's two kinds of people. I'm going to oversimplify, but just follow me. I'm going somewhere. So there's two kinds of people, and there's two ways of life. One is cyclical, so it goes in cycles and repetition. The other is novelty. Novelty meaning new, fresh experiences that you've never had before. Okay? So you got the way of cycles, and then you have the way of fresh experience. Two different directions, two different ways you can go. If you notice, a lot of the people that you would consider unconscious, so like in the Jungian sense, Carl Jung, unconscious versus conscious. A lot of people that live unconscious lives, there's a lot of repetition and a lot of cyclical stuff going on, but they don't really see it that way. Like they think that they're having new experiences. But to people that are more conscious on the outside looking in and listening to them talk, it's actually very annoying to listen to them describe what they're going through, because it's like, well, this is what you were doing 6 months ago, or this is what you were doing a year ago, or oh, this happens every 6 months or whatever, right? But they don't see it that way. They're telling it to you like it's a new thing. And by the way, this applies to me too. Like I have cycles that I need to conquer as well. We're all human. So I'm not talking to you as someone that has like transcended. I haven't like transcended all this. It's not like I'm above this. I have broken a lot of cycles, which is not easy. I still have cycles that I have to deal with. So I'm just giving that disclaimer. But we've all been there where someone's sitting there telling us like, oh, I have this problem. And it's like, yeah, but you had this problem so many times in so many different scenarios. So what is that, right? And how do you escape the cycles to experience new things? Because we all want novelty experience. Like you only get one life. We all want to experience fresh things. That's what adventure is. You know, that's exactly what adventure is. So I want to give you a little metaphor. In boxing, there's a thing you can do with footwork called turning somebody, which is where you're both squared up fighting each other and you get on like the outside, so you create an angle so that you're facing them head on and you can hit them, but they're not facing you because you just created an angle, you stepped off to the side. So they have to turn to face you before they can do anything. But every time they turn to face you, you can step out again and step out again and step out again. So what ends up happening is they can never face you, and you're always over the corner of their shoulder hitting them. And every time they try to turn, you turn. They turn, you turn, right? It's called turning them. The only way out of that, follow me, the only way out of that for the person that's getting turned, that can never face their opponent, the only way out is to back straight up. Back straight up and basically exit. So take a walk. I heard a boxing coach call it take a walk. You have to disengage completely and then reassess and then come back and engage again. Or you're just going to be in that trap forever and he will keep turning you. You have to back up. Which kind of involves putting your ego to the side, which is interesting, right? Because when you're fighting someone, you kind of want to stay in their face and get at them. But sometimes you have to take a walk. And I've heard it said that sometimes all that needs to happen to switch up the cycles in your life and to break the cycles and to branch off into a new novelty experience, all it takes is like if you have a routine of going on a walk in your neighborhood and when you leave the driveway you always turn right and go that way and loop back around. Today take a left. You know, if you always use the same creamer in your coffee, get a new flavor. It can be little things like that that disrupt the patterns in your life. Disrupting the patterns can be good. Now, routines are good because it's part of discipline. Routines are great. Routines are beautiful. As a fighter, obviously, I advocate for that. But these are rituals that serve you, routines that serve you. You know, not ones that you're doing unconsciously and you don't even know why. So, what we're talking about here is cycles. People describe our reality as fractal. Okay, so if you go on YouTube and look up fractal images, you'll see what that is. It's like patterns within patterns, and if you zoom out, it looks like you're looking at something different, but it keeps being the same image. It's kind of hard to explain, but you can look up fractals and see it for yourself. So if we live in a fractal world, then you being in a cycle is just you staying in one location. It's like a big map, right? We live in a map. And you're staying in one location running in circles, and you think that you're seeing new things. It's like a fish in a fishbowl swimming in circles. And they think that they're swimming past a new thing, but it's really the same shit they see every day. They don't realize they're swimming in circles. They think they're going just straight and they're just going north or something. They're not, right? So it's like being in a maze when you find yourself in a cycle like that, and you have to just disengage. You have to break pattern, and that can look different in different scenarios. So sometimes it might mean cutting people off, which can be shitty. I'm not saying that it's always that. Sometimes you just need to fix yourself, and cutting people off is going to do nothing for you, right? So I'm not saying that that's always the case. I don't like to preach that because that can be unhealthy. But that's just an example. Whatever it means to disengage from the pattern, you need to figure out what that is for you and do that. Like I said, I still have patterns that I need to disengage from. But when you can break free of the cycles, that's when the magic happens. So you'll start to, you want to know something that's really paradoxical? You can actually start to have deja vu from novel experiences. So they're experiences that you've actually never had before, but they give you deja vu, the sensation that you've done this before, you've been there before. Isn't that weird? And in a lot of like mysticism and different philosophies and stuff, they say that deja vu is like a synchronicity. It's like a sign from the universe that you're on the right path, or that whatever is happening at the moment is very important. That's what they say deja vu means. And isn't that interesting that it's ironic, right? That when you have new experiences, that's when you have deja vu. The times in my life when I've been really on the path and dedicated to changing, I've had a lot of deja vu. Sometimes it feels like people are talking to me, but it's really God speaking through them to me, you know? And you start to have synchronicities and things. And that's the magic I'm talking about. That's the magical experience of novelty experience. We don't really understand this world that we live in. You know, don't be so jaded, don't be so naive to think that this life is boring. To think that this life is boring, you must think that you know everything about it. Do you really know everything about this life? Break patterns, experience novel things, and go on a magical ride. Magical things will happen, especially when you sacrifice and you take risks. You know, right now I'm in a more lucky and privileged position than I used to be, but when I was in a bad position, I still took risks. You know, like, bet on yourself, take a gamble. You only get one life. You know, you want to experience novel things, or you want to just keep swimming past the same fake shit in your fish tank over and over again, thinking that you're having a new experience when you're not. Because I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be a fish in a tank swimming in circles. I want to go see new places, even if it's scary. You know, even if I have to make sacrifices, it's worth it. That's how you climb the mountain, for real. And when you reach the summit, you see the view, take it in. Now go find another mountain to summit. You know? And one more thing I want to add at the end here is like something I've really been thinking about a lot is singularity of purpose. So tackling one thing at a time. You know, like when you want to reinvent yourself, it's tempting to like, we have a lot of fun planning to reinvent ourselves, planning our personal development, planning our self-help journey, right? But a lot of times that's just like mental masturbation, and you're kind of just enjoying the thought of doing it and visualizing it. If you really want to take action, you're going to have to, this is a metaphor, but you're going to have to look at the map. You're going to have to pick one place and actually go there. And don't think about any fucking thing else until you get there. And then once you are there and you've done that thing, then you can look at the map again. But don't even open that shit up until you get there. Pick one, just one thing, just one place you want to go. Make that happen. See what it feels like to actually do that. You know how many people are quick to start and slow to finish and never do that in their life? They never pick a place on the map and just actually get there before they make another plan. Don't be that person that makes a million plans. I've heard it said, I don't know who said that, but they said that if you want one thing, it's very important that you don't simultaneously wish a million other unrelated things. Some of the most important shit that I ever heard. Alright guys, that's just food for thought. This is Younger MMA. I'll be back with more soon. Peace.